Howdy y'all, Brett, Tine living, back on the tiller project. It's a beautiful day, November the 20th, about 66, 67 degrees, very strange. Last year we was well into a pallet of pellets, a regular pellet stove by now. It's warm and sunny today, now partly cloudy. But I got the shaft built. I thought I'd show you this before I put the gearbox together. I was getting ready to assemble, done got the grease all over it. That was the shaft that I replaced. Done things a little different. I'll get this out. Alright, that was the old shaft. The old shaft, you can see, was much longer. It had this real long output shaft on it, and it's a step down shaft. This shaft was actually a little under 11/16, and this was a little under 5/8. It was actually in the metric size, closer to metric anyway. It was a 17 and I don't remember what the 16 point something another was, but I mimicked this part of the shaft and for the inside of the gearbox, because basically that's all was in the gearbox. So I made that part to match. Gear fits good, bearings fit good. I put the bearing housing into the lathe, cut it out and put a new seal in it. Got a replaceable seal I can order. Nothing strange. But on the shaft, instead of stepping this shaft down, I actually made this end bigger. Because the brake was always where they stepped the shaft down. So I actually left this part bigger, which means I can only assemble this gearbox one way, but I think the bigger end on the output shaft is a better thing. And also I wanted to put this universal joint in instead of a solid steel sleeve. The smallest I could get in a weld-on universal joint was 3/4 inch, and that's what I made the outside of this. This is 3/4 inch. This is close to 11/16 anyway. A few thousandths different, but things turned out really well. I got a good machine fit. The key one is a press fit. I'm very pleased with how the shaft itself turned out. I've pre-fit all this stuff, make sure it's going to work, and I'm fixing to assemble the gearbox and put the drive shaft on, and I'll show you the tiller when I get all that done. Alright, I thought I'd show this angle first, since it's the worst one to get to. Yeah, I'm in my maple tree repair shop. And it's my shade tree. Man, this shade tree's fixed a lot of things. But I got the Peerless transmission back in. It's chain drive. I don't know if you can make out a whole lot of that. But it's got a unique set of rollers that holds the chain tight. I thought that was pretty neat. It's worth showing. That chain wasn't fun to set, it being back in that hole, and while I had it all apart, I realized it's missing a wheel bushing. They use bushings to hold the axle straight by putting it between the wheel and the frame of the machine. It was missing one. That's the reason I couldn't get the chain to set, because the axle was sliding back and forth on me. So I've got another machine shop thing to build, but that's minor compared to what I have done. I don't know if I can get where you can see the shaft up in there. But you can see that universal joint right there. That's one I've been showing you I've been wanting to put in. It goes to the top of this Peerless transmission. And it comes up through the hole, and it goes into this right angle gearbox I just built the shaft for. Let me back off front where you can see it better. Yeah, I realized when I had it apart trying to put that chain together, I'd set the chain tension, it wouldn't be right. I'd set it again, it'd be off one way or the other. And I finally rolled it around. I had to take the wheels off, get where I needed to be, get the gearbox in it. When I went to putting it back together, I realized the bushing they put behind the wheel actually holds the axle straight on the inside. Not the what I consider the greatest idea, but it does work. You can see there's a bushing right there. That's what it's missing on the other side. Which I still got the bolt out of the wheel. The wheel's actually bolt on. Because I got to build that bushing before I can put that wheel back completely together. But you can see the 2-to-1 gearbox. A set of pulleys on it. I've got this thing in a kind of a high gear. I put a 5-speed instead of 3-speed back on it, so this is 5th gear. As you can see, everything seems to be lining up. I'm very pleased with how it turned out. For a shade tree job, I think it's coming out pretty good. Well, that's the update for the tiller. Next adventure, of course, is the bushing for the wheel to hold the axle. Put the wheel back on, and I'm going to set the engine and try to figure out how to get that big engine on here without it binding anything or being in the way. I really didn't like the way it was put on there when I got it, so I'm going to try to do a better job. I could stick the motor on it now and probably take it and run it, but I don't really want to do it until I get everything the way it's supposed to be. With a 13-horse motor on it, I'm afraid it'll tear something else up before I get it all together if I don't take every step, make it right. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Tell people about us. Have a good day.